We are live. So it's Phil M. Rivers here, and I have a couple of guests with me on the panel. And I'll go ahead and let them introduce themselves. We'll start with Scotsman. You
Yep.
go
Thanks for the
ahead.
link, brother. Always a pleasure to be here, and always a pleasure to have my Glock-tard friend on the other side over there. Although, you know what? I'm proud of him. He's got the CZP-10, and I am so proud of him, man. It's awesome. And congrats on your anniversary.
Oh,
Yes,
thanks, brother.
congrats.
Yeah, final episode. I've already made it and everything on the final decision between the Glock 19 and the P10C. I just got to put it out, and I'm probably gonna put it out tomorrow when I get back home. That way, I could actually respond to comments and whatnot. So that's coming up soon. But I can't see the side chat, so anybody in the side chat, if anybody says anything to me, I'm not being a dick and not responding. I can't see the side chat. So
Yeah, I'll try and keep you posted. I try and keep an eye on the side chat a little bit. We got Vanessa Kitty out there, Big Al, and PC Bullet Empire. And of course, we got the Crazy Scotsman and myself. And we got 4 watching right now, so we'll see if people jump in, see if anybody else jumps on the panel. But I just got a few things to talk about tonight. One of them is an article I was reading in the American Handgunner by Josh. Help me out again. Masad.
Masad Ayub.
Okay, that's who wrote the article. That's Do Cops Want Armed Teachers? And the link for the article is in the description below. I just want to touch base real quick on it. It's part of the International Law Enforcement Educators and Trainers Association. Had a conference, and there was a panel of experts on firearms and deadly force training in it. And the question was asked, do they want armed teachers? And overwhelming majority said yes. With there was only 3 people that didn't raise their hand when asked that question, if they wanted armed teachers, and they didn't come back for the second half of the conference. So, but they also said that they talked about the school resource officers, and the Parkland shooting came up, and the fact that the deputy stayed outside. But then they talk later on about the one in Maryland where an SRO literally ran to the sound of gunfire at the St. Mary's County Sheriff Department, or deputy. Blaine Gaskill confronted the gunman who shot himself in the same moment that the officer shot him. So you gotta want to check out the article. The link's down below. But I found it very informative and interesting. There was a thing going on from Alaskan Ballistics, which was Guardeveryschool, which I linked his channel down below too. Check it out and see what that's all about. But the idea is that the armed teachers or SROs or whatever, just to get people in the schools with guns to defend the kids. So I'll run through the side chat. We picked up a few more people. We got Jet001, unknown user. Okay, you guys are talking there. Cool. But I didn't know what the panel's thoughts are on arming the teachers. I think that, my opinion is that the best way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun, whether it's a teacher, an SRO, a police officer, or whatever. So, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree, man. You got to think about response time. And from the minute they get that call, how long is it going to take them to get there versus how long, if you have a trained armed teacher ready to rock and roll, is it going to take him to get to that point and take care of business? I'm all for it. Absolutely. 100%.
I I agree. Um, I agree on the security in the schools and everything like that. I have a little bit of a different point of view than most people. A lot of people think we should put a bunch of soldiers in the hallways, stuff like that. And the last thing I want is my kid walking through a school and through a militarized school. That doesn't sit well with me. I would rather the teachers, as many as possible, or as many are as willing to be armed, to be armed. As far as the training aspect, I think that it should be encouraged, and I think that it should be offered, paid for by the state for them to have training, to get training. But even without training, I think they should still be able to carry. If they have the right to carry, they have the right to carry, in my opinion. I just think no gun free. I think we should just get rid of gun free zones altogether and let the teachers that carry, and from there on out, from there, that's the starting point, and from there, get as many of them to get training as are willing to get training, and provide it for them, a paid day's leave or whatever, like if they're supposed to be working that day or whatever, send in a substitute teacher and let that teacher go to training for 8 hours or whatever, and still get paid for like a paid vacation almost, in a way, to go do their training and whatnot, firearms training and whatnot. And that's my opinion. I don't want lots of police officers in the schools. I don't want armed soldiers lining the hallways, because they have that. That's in pretty much communist states,
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't have them dressed as soldiers or as police officers. I would have them as plain clothes, looking like civilians, but they would be armed, and their job would be to keep the kids safe from something like
Yeah.
that. That's just my thought. And I definitely agree. We need to get rid of the gun-free zones, because that in
Soft
itself
target.
is just inviting people to come in
Straight
and
up,
do that
soft
kind of.
target.
Yeah, soft targets.
That alone would
So,
probably eliminate the problem right there. That alone, I think, would eliminate the problem, in my opinion. I could be wrong,
well,
but I doubt it.
yeah, yeah. But like I said, Alaskan Ballistic went into some details in some of his videos about it. I linked his channel. I don't think I have his email to send him a link. I didn't see him out there in the side chat yet. So, but yeah, he's more than welcome to send me an email and jump in. But yeah, that's one thing I wanted to talk about was, should we arm the teachers or whatever? And I agree with Josh on, if you're allowed to carry, you should be allowed to carry anywhere. And you definitely need to get rid of the soft targets and the gun-free zones. So that's just my opinion too.
Yep.
And I'm like I said, I'm all for the training. I am not against training. I'm not against training for anybody. Like, I think I don't think anybody should be forced to do training. I don't think anybody should be forced to do training to carry. But I think it's a good idea for anybody to get training. As I've said before on a video that I made a long time ago about to tactitard or not to tactitard was what it's called. I basically said, can you possibly be too good to win a gunfight? No, you can't be too good to win a gunfight. So there's nothing wrong with training, and it's a good idea. But I absolutely do not think it should be pushed on anybody. I think it should be recommended, and it should be given for free to teachers, paid for by the school, paid for by the board, paid for by the state.
Yeah, that's one of those things. We guard our politicians with people with guns. We guard our money in the banks with people with guns. We guard federal buildings with, or even state and local offices with people with guns. Our kids aren't worth the effort to have people with guns to protect them. I don't understand.
Shit, our wildlife is protected more than.
Yeah.
The game warden can trample all over your rights. They can bypass your rights, all your rights. They can bypass your rights over fish. over
Yeah.
animals, but our children, you know, can our rights to protect children, to protect ourselves, all that stuff is not taken care of, is not guarded, you know.
Yeah, that's a sad state of affairs we've become. So, but yeah, that's my thoughts on the subject. And like I said, there's some other resources out there you can check out. Vanessa Kitty saying she has to leave her firearms at home when she goes to her job. Yeah, I have to leave mine in the car. Just in time prepping. How you doing? So, but yeah, that's the thing. You can't always carry, but I try to carry as much as possible. So it's one of those things. But if I were a teacher, I would definitely feel better if I could carry. So, but
Well,
that
you
brings
can
us.
you
Go ahead.
can carry. You can carry all the time. You can carry all the time.
Yeah.
It may not be legal, but you can
Right.
carry all the time. And I'll just leave it at that. That's what they make.
Exactly.
That's what they make LCPs for, and those little underwear holsters. And
Oh yeah.
Yeah, my last job, we couldn't carry, which was retarded because I'm selling guns. But I will not I will not say how many people I knew were carrying or whether I was carrying, but there was a good amount of people that were well armed. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
and not to hijack the topics or anything like that, but what would y'all feel would be something that's reasonable for a gun-free zone? And because I have one example where I can actually say that I think this place should be a gun-free zone, and that would be like a chemical plant where if you used a gun, the whole place would freaking blow up, something like that. I could see in that situation why where it should be a gun-free zone. That's like one exception I can think of, you know, one of the
Yeah.
few exceptions I can think of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's not too many of them.
Yeah. The other
Yeah,
place would be a nuclear reactor facility
yeah,
where
exactly.
if we, you can't carry inside of that building or whatever. But to guard the facility, I would think you need armed guards, which they've done away with at power plants. So
Yeah,
it's they're making them more of a soft target, I think. But that's just my opinion.
yeah.
Patriots in the Darks there. How you doing? But yeah, that brings me to my next topic, which is um, every second matters, and I think it was Patriot in the Dark did a video on this morning. I watched at lunchtime, and it's just talking about your Second Amendment rights. And I put the link to the page down below, and talking about firearms on the second of each month. And I don't know. I think Scotsman and everybody else here does a pretty good job of talking about firearms all the time, really. So we try to educate people and try to show that guns aren't bad. So
Yeah.
it's not evil. It's a tool. It's the person that's evil. So I
Well,
don't
I'm
know.
going to call a gun check since we're talking about that. I got
Uh,
the Model 60 Snubby 357, and yes, it is loaded and yes, I feel safe.
oh, you're killing me.
How can you pull up in every second matters and not have a gun with you?
Well, I have it, but it's about 10 feet away.
Since I since I'm on vacation right now, of course I always got. Well, for now, we'll see on my next video. But for right now, I have the Glock 19 on me, and of course I had to bring the little LCP because there is. I'm not sure if there's gun-free zones around here, but like I said, that's what the LCP is for. So I brought that along with me on my trip, just in case.
Well, my nearest one is the Walther PPS M2, and yeah, it's ready to rock. And then in the other room, I have the CZ P10C, and then upstairs is the H&K. So I definitely feel safe.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah, there was one thing I didn't hear from you there, and I heard it from someone else, but it's funny you didn't say it either. You didn't say Glock. So I'm
Well,
very, very proud of you, but someone else said Glock, and that's very disappointing.
well, I do have one of those loaded here too. So, but
But you didn't say it, so I'm proud of you for not saying it.
that usually goes in my car. So,
Yeah, Scott. But Scotsman, this may be the last time you ever hear me or see me with a Glock. It may be.
oh wow.
We'll see.
I'm pretty sure it's gonna be. So I'm proud of you, brother. I'm proud of you.
Nudge. Video coming out soon.
Yeah.
Ghost Tactical's in the house. How you doing? Yeah, it's I think a lot of the gun channels do a good job of trying to spread the word and get the the word out as to what's going on with guns and try to spread the word that guns aren't evil, it's the person, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So
I made a comment in someone's video earlier about how yeah every second matters, but let's not forget all the other amendments too, and all
right.
the other rights. We got to make sure that we talk and promote those because a lot of people don't know what they are.
Yeah, I've
Yep.
forgotten a lot of them in my years since high school when they actually did teach about the amendments. You know, I don't know if they're
And that's
teaching
it.
that
They don't
anymore.
teach it anymore, so there's no one. You don't have that next generation coming up.
Yeah. So I don't get
I
it.
mean, yeah. I mean, the next generation. I mean, shit. If the military wants, they could go. They can go. They can go knock on their door and say, "Hey, we're going to use your house for quarters, and you have no say so about it."
Right.
They have no idea that that's one of their rights. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I mean, there's, I mean, like all the, and I was just agreeing with Scotsman's comment on that video. I can't remember whose video it was, but I was just agreeing with his comment that so many people that the first and the second is very important to them and they're brought up a lot. But I mean, you'd be surprised how many people do not know their rights, even hardcore people that
yeah.
that don't know their rights. I mean, they're all important,
Yeah,
every
they're
one of
all
them.
yeah. Yeah, you got the top 10, but the rest of them are equally as important. That was David
Bowling.
Bowling. Yeah, thank you. I remember seeing that comment too. But yeah, they're all equally important. You know, the First Amendment's what we're doing now. We're expressing our opinions, and they haven't shut us down yet, which is thankful. But the second is the teeth. So, but yeah, there was another shooting today. I don't know if anybody else heard about this. I have a friend that lives down in Florida, and he sent me a text about a shooting in Tallahassee, and I believe it was one killed plus the perpetrator took his own life. But yeah, it was I don't know what the deal was. It was a yoga place. A guy walks into the yoga place and started shooting people. So I'm sure there'll be more information to come out on that. But last week we had a shooting in Pittsburgh, and that was local news to me. And uh, that was just another evil whack job going out there and shooting people. And I'm sure our governor and his cronies are going to come after our guns if and when he wins the re-election next week. Because right now he has about a 12-point lead on his opponent. So, but I don't know. I did see it made national news. The opponent of our governor made a video on Facebook or somewhere, and he said that he's going to have to wear a catcher's mask on his face because he's going to stomp on his face with golf cleats. And I like the sentiment, and I understood where he's coming from, but that's very easy to take the wrong way, and people don't like that. And so I think he kind of may have cost himself the election there.
Uh,
So, but I don't know if anybody heard about that kind of stuff or not.
No, I didn't see anything today.
Yeah. Yeah, Tallahassee. I mean, that was probably 7, 8 o'clock. I got that text. I think it was. Yeah, the midterms are important, and I think everybody needs to get out and do their part and vote, and try and reestablish what happened in 2016 wasn't just a fluke.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people relaxed and aren't really following what's going on, and this is a very important election, I think.
Yeah, it's huge. You can't step back and sit down and not do anything. The minute you do is when they're going to come in and take over, and then
Yeah.
we're all going to be screwed.
Yep. Yes, it's an
And
important
again,
election.
going back to the rights thing, it's your right, so use
Yes,
it.
you're right. That's your right, and I feel that voting is also a privilege, but it's a right, and a lot of things are privileges, and there are things that are privileges, and there are the things that are rights, and I think it's an honor to be able to vote myself. It's your duty.
Absolutely. I'm not going to be able to get it done this year, but next year for sure, I'll be taking care of my citizenship stuff, getting that knocked out.
Yeah,
This year, just there's a lot of shit that happened, but next year for sure. But trust me, that's the only right and the only privilege I don't have, and I look forward to it.
yeah, because that's huge. It's one of those things that people don't use it, and it's one thing that I did instill in my kids is get registered and get out there and vote. Your vote matters, and it'll make a difference, hopefully. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
well,
mean,
go ahead.
when it comes to like the presidency and whatnot, um, when it comes to the 4-year vote, basically, I'll I'm sometimes more likely to vote for, depending on what chance I think they have. I I sometimes will vote for an independent, but when it comes to the midterm elections, that's to me that's I just go R down the line, for
I
midterms,
I look at everybody and what their qualifications and where I think they're going to vote for me and do what I want them to and not what they want to. And unfortunately, it usually is an R straight down the line.
Yeah,
I mean, it shouldn't be that way. But around here, independents have absolutely zero chance. So,
yeah, yeah.
but I mean, maybe someday that'll change. We'll have a third party that can do something against the Democrats and Republicans because this in my state, there's a lot of rhinos too. So
Yeah, there's a bunch of them out here as well.
yeah, so it's just one of those things. It's like the lesser of two evils, really.
Well, I think Texas. I mean, I'm worried about Texas. I'm really thinking. For some reason, I just have a bad feeling that Beto O'Rourke's going to take out Cruz. Cruz has been kind of relaxed on this, and Beto is just like, I hate that bastard, but he is on fire, and I'm constantly getting mail from that guy. Like, I'm constantly getting mail letters from Beto O'Rourke. I'm like, I don't like you. Why the hell are you sending, like he is sending letters to everybody in Texas, like multiple letters. Like, this dude is all over it. And I think for the first time in decades, we're gonna have a Democratic senator in Texas.
Wow.
I think it's going to happen because he is all over this, and I am seeing, even in the small conservative town that I was raised in, I'm seeing signs all over the place that say "Vote Beto," signs in people's front yards, and
Oh, that's crazy.
hardly any Cruz signs in a conservative town, and so it's not looking good in Texas right now. So if you live in Texas, yeah, jump on that vote, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, 'cause that's the thing in PA. I mean, we got a chance on the outside chance that we can get the Democratic governor out of office. because if we don't, I think there's going to be trouble come November 12th or so. So, but we'll wait and see what happens here. Go out and do my part and try and get him out of office. So, but yeah, I don't have much more. I do have one more thing on my agenda tonight, and I'm gonna let Scotsman kind of talk more about that because it's Be Like Ed and it's Frag Out Clothing, and I do have the links below in the description. If you haven't done so, go out and get your shirts. And Scotsman, tell everybody more about that, please.
Yeah, sure. Number one, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, guys, Ed passed a couple weeks back, and Frag Out stepped up to the plate to help out again. They helped us with Mr. Holster, and they stepped up to the plate to help out with Ed's family. So you have 2 days left to order a shirt. You have till November 4th, so a day and a half left at this point to order your shirt. And every penny minus the print cost goes to Ed's family. So it's free shipping. And so it's a really cool deal. Again, just kind of like you set up for Mr. Holster. You got the nice print on the front in memory of Ed. And then hashtag Be Like Ed on the side with the U.S. Air Force wings. So it's very, very cool.
Yeah, I ordered mine last week, or this week sometime, I think it was.
Yeah, I got mine on the chat. So
yeah, so I watched the Bomies video about it and Coda Boys talking about it.
yeah, that's cool that Coda Boy promoted it because he's got
Yeah.
a big channel. He can reach out and get a lot of people to order probably.
Yeah,
Yep.
he talks and people listen. So
Yeah, last time he jumped in and did one for Mr. Holster, we got another $750 out of it. So
yeah, so that's what I mean. It's the community's great, and the I told him nice public service announcement, and I just want to do my part and try and spread the word. If if you're watching this on the replay tomorrow or whatever, go out and get a shirt before it's too late. And like I said, try and support Frag Out Clothing. Buy something different. Buy another shirt or two that's not just Ed. I mean, by all means, buy a couple Ed shirts too, but help them out and support the company that's doing this for them because that's a great offer or great thing
yeah,
they're doing.
you didn't have to do this. I mean, I literally, when I first talked to this guy back with Mr. Holster, it was about a 10-minute conversation, and he was like, absolutely. So this tells you the kind of person he is, the kind of business owner he is. So absolutely support him if you can. Buy something else as well. When I called him and said about this, it wasn't 2 minutes. It wasn't 2 minutes. And he was all about it. So, he's a great supporter of us and what we do here. So definitely support him, and he's much appreciated for what he does for us.
Yeah, and we got Preston Scott, 536 jumped in here. Jimmy's birthday. Well, you tell Jimmy happy birthday for us, and we'll catch you later. You can't stay long. I am doing fine. And he says, "Hey, Josh, Scotsman."
What's up, Preston?
I know you can't see the side chat.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's Frag Out's a great company. I mean, whenever I ordered a shirt for Mr. Holster and got that in, they gave me a sticker that said Frag Out Clothing. That was nice, and I put that on the toolbox with all my other YouTube stickers. So it's pretty cool, and they're a good company. And like I said, like Scotsman said, they didn't have to do this, and I mean, I think it's great that they jumped in and helped out. But I don't know if anybody in the side chat got anything they want to talk about or any questions for us. Sing happy birthday.
I'll let Phil and Josh sing. I ain't singing nothing. I'm going to
Okay.
say happy birthday to him, but that's it, man. Sorry,
Yeah.
I don't.
Sing to Jimmy, huh? Okay. I'll give it a shot, but I gotta warn you, I suck.
I'm Lutheran. Lutherans don't. If you want to, it sounds like feeding time at the zoo if you hear a Lutheran choir. So you're not going to want to hear me sing.
Well, I'll sing then. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jimmy. Happy birthday to you. And many more. There you go. How about that, Jimmy?
Happy birthday, Jimmy.
So, but yeah, it's what's Jimmy, 17, 18 now? So he's a young guy. Him and Preston are a couple good guys. If you don't know them and you're in the side chat, check out Preston Scott 536, and he can you can just click on the little icon to the right of his name and go to his channel. Check him out. And
yeah, he's flying planes and doing all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah, so he's
awesome.
a good kid.
It's awesome.
Yeah, him and Jimmy are a couple good kids, and they got good heads on their shoulders.
Yeah.
Oh, he's only 16 though.
Oh, he's only 16. Oh, he's younger than you.
Young pup.
Yeah, so a couple good kids. We need a lot more like him. I got to tell you that. So, but Scotsman or Josh, you got anything else you want to talk about?
Nope. I ain't got much on my mind right now. I'm just relaxing and enjoying being out of town and being on vacation.
Cool.
So I got nothing.
Yeah, only other thing I got is if you guys can still go over to Ed's donation page or CMAX's donation page. They're still both up and live. So on the GoFundMe side of things, if you can help out, please do so. I can tell you from being in Georgia and seeing Chris's wife, she's not doing well. She has a lot of bills and everything she's got to try and stay on top of. But just mentally and all that, she's not doing well at all. So the more we can support her and let her know we're there, the better it's going to be for her. I talked to her again yesterday on the phone last night, and it's not good. You know, I mean, obviously the situation itself isn't good, but she's not doing well with it, and I don't think she will for a while. So the more we can help her and be there and let her know that we're there to help, the better.
Yeah, it's going to take some time. I definitely think so. And yeah, just keep C-Max's family in your prayers, and Ed's family, keep them in your prayers also. Yeah, Preston had a question. He wanted to know why I haven't seen anything from Uncle Dan. I do not know that.
I think he's kind of relaxing for right now. He's kind of putting videos out every couple weeks right now, just because he's been pretty busy. And you know, when you put a video out, and I mean, he gets a lot of comments. So when he puts a video out, it's not just putting the video out; it's that he has to take a lot of time to respond to all the comments. So he's been kind of just taking it easy on YouTube and just kind of watching when he can. So that's why he hasn't been around too often. He's still going to be around, but I think he's just been busy lately, and he's kind of taking a little bit of a breather from YouTube, which is good, you know.
Yeah, I think everybody needs to do that once in a while.
Yeah,
like you said, it does take some time.
Couple weeks off, other than chats and stuff, and it's kind of nice because you know, again, I respond to every comment, and I'm sure Uncle Dan does too. And you know, you can get a whole bunch on there, and before you know it, you got 2-3 hours just in responding to comments.
Yeah,
and it can get nuts, you know. So yeah, whenever you can take a break, it's kind of nice. And this is the first break I've really taken at all in the last year and a half. So it was kind of nice. I do have a bunch of videos that's going to be coming out though here shortly. Various things. I just finished developing my first attempt load of the 150 grain bullet for 9mm. I did my first test loads tonight, so I'm going to take them to the range tomorrow and shoot them and hope I don't blow up a gun. And and I say that because there's no real data out there.
Oh.
So this is all me experimenting and hoping to God I don't blow up my gun. Needless to say, I will not be touching my CZ first. I will be touching my Beretta first because my Beretta is built like a tank.
Yeah. Oh.
So I have 10 rounds loaded up, ready to try and make sure and see how they work. So that'll be interesting. And if they work, we'll go from there. And then I have a 160 grain bullet that I need to work and develop as well. So I'm trying to get the most heaviest bullet I can get for competition to get the smoothest, flattest, most accurate load I can get without going too low where it ain't gonna work.
Are you for 9mm? Is that what you're saying?
Yep.
160 grain?
Mm-hmm.
Holy cow!
There's no load data, none.
Well, yeah, I haven't. Is the overall length even is that too long? Is that gonna cycle? Is it gonna catch up? Is it gonna hit the feed ramp, or is it too long? Or
so I haven't started working on that one yet. So here I'll show you what I got going. So here's the 150 grain that I have set up, and this is at 1.130 overall length. And this is set up with 3.5 grains of unique. So we're gonna see how this guy rocks tomorrow. The 160 grain bullet looks like this, and this does not have a primer or any powder in it yet. This was my first attempt at seeing kind of where the bullet seat was gonna go, and working on developing the overall length because I want to get that right where it's gonna not only feed in the magazine but feed in the chamber too.
yeah.
So this is my first rough attempt at this one. This one seems a hair long, but just a hair. So I'll be able to pull the bullet because, again, I didn't do no primer or powder yet because the way I do it, especially when I'm experimenting, is I'll just take an empty case, take a bullet, and work that and get the overall length set where I want it. And then I'll check it in the Lyman checker. And then I'll throw it in the magazine, make sure it fits the magazine, and then I'll throw it and do a plunk test in the barrel of what I'm going to shoot it in. I know it seems like a lot, but when you're developing loads like that, you gotta be precise.
Yeah, it's something you don't want to screw around too much with, and definitely want to make sure you get it right.
Yeah, I'm not trying to blow up $1,000 gun.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a couple people jumped in the side chat here. Wanted to say hi and shout them out. It was V-Borg, Hard Target, and Roosted Films jumped in. So just say hi, guys.
Cool.
Yeah, we're probably gonna be wrapping it up here soon unless somebody's got something else to talk about. But
hey, I have one for Josh. I got a good topic for Josh. Hey, Josh, how cold is it there?
Dude, it got down where I'm at right now. It got down to 49 degrees. So that's like, and from where I'm from, that's 20 degrees below freezing. So it's pretty bad. Y'all pray for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the high today was 56, and that was this morning. It just went down from there.
But people laugh. They come down to Texas. People from up north, they come down to Texas. They come down to Corpus, where I'm at, where I live, and they're like, it doesn't get cold here. Y'all don't have winters. And once it hits 50 degrees, 55 degrees, they are shaking and shivering. And I'm like, oh, yeah, when it's 40-mile-an-hour winds and 100% humidity and it's cutting right through your clothes, 55 is a lot colder than 0 degrees whenever it's calm still and no humidity, you know? It's a whole different kind of cold here.
Yeah, see, like I'm up on the lake, and Phil, I think you're up by the lake as well, ain't you?
Yeah, we get some lake effect.
We get a whole different kind of cold up here.
Yeah.
So would you say it's cold isn't even close?
Yeah, we got last year, what was it, minus 10, and the wind chill made it like minus 20. So, and they're calling for it to be worse this year. So we'll see what happens. They're calling for more snow too. Yay! But yeah, I'm getting to hate the snow. You know, too much shoveling.
I've only seen it twice in my life.
Oh
Lucky
my goodness!
Lucky you, man. I absolutely when I was growing up, back home, I worked in the snow all the time. You don't stop for snow. So you get up at 4 a.m., go to work, you get home at 11 o'clock at night, and it's still snowing. And you're trudging through it.
Yep.
And at times it was knee high. And Phil, you've met me, man. You know how tall I am. So knee high is pretty deep.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it's
grasshopper.
It's yeah, it's crazy, especially like out here. No one knows how to drive in the snow. No one. I drive a two-wheel drive truck, stick shift, and no one here knows how to drive a four-wheel drive truck, and they still can't drive. And I go flying by them in a two-wheel drive truck.
I'd rather have the 2-wheel drive because only 2 wheels will go out of control. If you spin out, because the only two tires are actually. That's something that a lot of people don't consider whenever it comes to like 4-wheel drives or all-wheel drives. They think, oh, more traction, they're safer, da 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 da. But you spin out on a 4-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, or all-wheel drive, that's it. All your tires are out of control. You're screwed. You're not getting any traction at all.
I like my two-wheel drive stick shift, man. I got no problem with it. It's got me out of some serious holes.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to have a 1990 F-150. It was a straight 6, and it didn't have posi tracks. I go to the beach, and all these 4-wheel drives would be getting stuck in the soft sand, and I just gun it, and my truck was sideways, just driving like that, sideways, just going straight through it like a boat. You just keep that one tire spinning, and it turns that truck sideways, but it keeps going forward as long as you don't let off. You just got to know how to do it.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up here, guys. Scotsman, you want to give an outro?
Just appreciate the link and be like Ed.
Be like Ed. Josh?
Amen. That's all I got to say is amen.
Alrighty. Well, thank you all for coming on. I appreciate you guys jumping in. Everybody in the side chat, appreciate you coming in. Yeah, just remember, Ed, shirts on sale for a couple more days. And don't forget, C-Max and Ed do have the GoFundMe pages up still. If you can, go out and help them. And that's all I got till we meet again.